that speaks volume for itself. Now, when I look at all the other quarterbacks in the NFC race right now to contend for the playoffs, right now you talk about Dak Prescott. He has 1 win in the playoffs, 1-3. Jalen Hurts, he's 0-1, just happened to lose to, Tom Edward Brady last year in the playoffs. Then you look at Purdy, 0 playoff attempts. Kirk Cousins is 1-3. Daniel Jones, 0 playoff appearances. Carson Wentz, 0-1. Taylor Heineke, 0-1, just happened to lose to that guy Tom Brady once again. Now, Chris Canty, I see how you're looking at me, and I know you got the best of Tom Brady in your day back in 2011. But I don't trust anybody else at this juncture of the season when you talk about playoff time more so than I do Tom Brady.
Wow. I mean, I don't know how you can trust anything about the Tampa Bay Bucs, including Tom Brady, given what we've seen from them this year. Look, it took a Herculean effort for them in overtime against a double-digit loss Arizona Cardinals team to come out with a win on Christmas Day. I don't know how you can buy stock in Tom Brady. You can't look at the quarterback in isolation. It's not in a bubble. It's also what's around the quarterback. And for that reason, I got to go with Jalen Hurts. I mean, think about the decision-making that we've seen from Jalen Hurts. He's accounted for 35 touchdowns to only 7 turnovers. Quarterbacks that account for 35 or more touchdowns for their teams, all of them have double-digit turnovers. Those are the Joe Burrows, the Patrick Mahomes, and the Josh Allens of the world. Jalen Hurts is in that category, but the efficiency is what separates him from everybody else in that NFC playoff field. Forget about the fact that he doesn't have any playoff wins. All right, listen, we know that quarterbacks struggle in their first foray in the playoffs. But think about this. Matt Stafford last year had only 1 playoff win going on the road to Tampa to play against the GOAT. How'd that turn out for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
Well.
Not that good. And Matt Stafford was playing at a really high level that year, similar to what we're seeing from Jalen Hurts. Now, we'll have to see how practice goes this week with the shoulder and what happens with that. But if for whatever reason, Jalen Hurts is able to be on that field against the New Orleans Saints this Sunday, and they do wrap up home field advantage in that first round bye, I don't know how you couldn't love the spot that the Philadelphia Eagles would be in.
That's my point, though. If Jalen Hurts does not play against the New Orleans Saints, if he doesn't play another game in this regular season, and then they have that first round bye, it's going to be 30-plus days since Jalen Hurts has played football live against an opponent. And then we're not just talking about his non-throwing shoulder. We're talking about the shoulder that he's been so remarkable with this season, the shoulder that he has to throw with. That we can't just negate that. We got to factor all these things in. That's why I choose Brady.
I love you, Harry. I'd love to be on your side, but me and Mr. Canty are on the same page today. And look about the AFC for a second. There are 4 quarterbacks I trust in the AFC. Allen, Burrow, Mahomes, and Herbert. I trust Herbert, those 4. I don't know if I trust anybody in the NFC, but because the team has played so well, he played well in some college playoff games in big spots. Bad last year. That was a bad team. I will go with Hurts, too. And I think he's going to play. I know he's got a shoulder. I think they'll figure out a way to get him some work in the next 2 games, maybe play a half. I think he'll play. He won't be going there completely cold. And we all love Brady. Who doesn't love Brady? We know how great he is. Great job on the 4th quarter comeback. But you got to look at the big picture, and that team has struggled to score points all year long. So I can't take him because part of it's the team. I don't trust the offensive line. They're not even in the playoffs yet. They got to beat Carolina. So I will go Hurts. I'm with Mr. Canty over there. I will go Hurts. Cousins, you got to see. He's won 1 playoff game on the road. I got to see a lot more. You can't trust Purdy. Rodgers isn't in the playoffs. Daniel Jones has never played in a playoff game. Washington, if they make the playoffs, who's going to be the quarterback? There's nobody there. The NFC is a disaster.
Why is everybody saying Dak?
And I don't trust Dak.
Exactly.
I forgot about him. I forgot about him. I don't trust him in a big game. I don't trust him.
Me either.
Prescott.
I mean,
so I'm not taking.
They gotta make it out of the first round.
And they
might have to play against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Who they might play against?
They might have to play against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
This is another reason why I'm choosing Tom Brady is the simple fact that I can't get out of my mind the Super Bowl pedigree that this team does have. And granted, I think they've only played 2 complete games this season. The one against the Seattle Seahawks in Munich and the first game of the year against the Dallas Cowboys. Other than that, they've been horrible. But when you do have a guy in Tom Brady who's been phenomenal throughout his career, you do have a lot of carryover from the Super Bowl team, even though they haven't lived up to that hype this season. At any given time, it can click. At any given time, it can.
It's true.
You can say that, but when you start talking about Super Bowl winning teams, it's not just the guys on the field, it's also the guys on the sideline. Last time I checked, Todd Bowles ain't got no Super Bowl winning pedigree as a head coach.
I don't love him in a big game.
No,
Good
no,
point,
no. Listen,
Chris.
great coordinator, not necessarily the best head coach, and game management has been an issue for this Bucs team this season. All you got to do is look back to the Cincinnati Bengals game and how he managed that with the fake punt fiasco with Gio Bernard. Awful decision. Look at the end of the Cleveland Browns game.
Yeah, didn't call timeout.
Didn't call timeout.
Yeah,
absolutely egregious. There are coaching gaffes that we've seen from Todd Bowles. And remember what Bill Belichick and Nick Saban said in the Art of Coaching special. Good players can't overcome bad coaching. We've never had to worry about the coaching with Tom Brady between Bill Belichick and Bruce Arians.
Yeah.
We're now at a point where we do have to worry about that. Another issue that I have with the Bucs and why I side with Jalen Hurts and the Eagles, look at the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
The Eagles are phenomenal on defense. Forget about all of the other metrics that people will throw at you. What matters with winning championships, fourth quarter sacks, third downs, and red zone. The Philadelphia Eagles this season, top 10 in all of those categories. Oh, by the way, the team that won the championship last year, the LA Rams defense, top 10 in all of those categories. That is going to matter in terms of being able to make a lead stick. So Jalen Hurts, the identity of that offense, him being a part of the running game, as well as the downfield passing game, coupled with that defense, is why I trust Hurts more than any other quarterback in the NFC playoff.
And here's the issue I have with the coaching staff, especially from the offensive side of the ball with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. There's times, Canty, we played against each other. If we knew a team was going to have a pass rush and we couldn't protect, we would start off the game in no huddle. We would start off the game in 2 minutes. Why do they only want to get in 2 minutes when they need scores and they need touchdowns late in the game? Start out in the game in it. If that's been your best offense so far this season, why not start the game off in it? Now, if I'm going against the Carolina Panthers this weekend, which they are, I'm starting off the game in no huddle in 2 minute offense. So I don't have to huddle up every play and try to, get things going. Let's get things going from jump like we have done late in games to get these wins to actually be in the position they are in right now.
One thing about Hurts, and I'm with Chris on Hurts, we haven't seen him in the NFL where he has to throw the football down the field late in the game. And he's going to have probably the 49ers looking at him with that defense. And there might be a situation, an NFC Championship game, where he's got to go 80 yards against a very good defense to win a title.
Yeah.
We have never seen him do that.
No.
And that would be a little bit of a, you have to be careful of saying they're a lock to get out of the NFC.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.